Hello. I'm Meg Martin, Executive Director for Interfaith Works, and welcome to today's Lean in Olympia. We're super happy to be here with you all. Lean in Olympia, for those of you that don't know, is a show that we run about every other week, airing on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. Lean in Olympia is a show that features conversations at the intersections of humanity, justice, and belief. If you want to check out past episodes, they're up on our website, interfaith-works.org, or you can find them on our YouTube channel, Interfaith Works Thurston County. So today we have a very, very special guest, a dear friend of mine, Marvin Bennett. Welcome, Marv.
Thank you for having me.
Marvin is here today. We've known each other, oh my gosh, we've probably known each other 12 or 13 years.
Yeah.
So Marv, do you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself? Where'd you grow up? How'd you get to Olympia? Those kind of things.
How can we go way back?
However far back.
Okay, I'll just say I'm from Tacoma, Washington, in Hilltop area. We moved out here in 1958, so I'll tell you how old I am.
Yeah.
But I made it to Olympia after my wife and I separated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, because I wasn't used to being homeless, but I thought, oh man, this feels good being here. It's really taking care of me. So that's how I stayed here. Yeah.
So when you first came to Olympia, you didn't have a place to live.
No, I was staying down there by that gas place down there. Would you pump out that's that big building.
Oh, the lot building?
Propane place.
Oh, yeah,
The big long building at the Mexican building. Played Mexican music at night.
Mm-hmm.
I laid out there for a while. I went to the mission, ate there 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Got my cardboard, slept in cubby holes, stuff like that. That's all I got when I first started. This ain't bad, but then it got. I thought I wasn't gonna be homeless for a while, but it turned into being 5 years.
Yeah. And when I first got to know you, I was doing street outreach with Eggy Hop, and you were always playing bucket drums.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a good friend of mine named Wild Bill. He's downtown a lot.
Uh-huh.
He was playing them. I said, man, he was just having fun, and people was giving him money and stuff like that. So he kind of showed me how to play a little bit. So I started playing on street corners, Olympia, man. Like every day, but on Thursday to Sunday, I'd make like $70, $80 in tips and stuff.
Yeah.
Met a lot of people doing that. And that's another reason why I stayed homeless a long time. I was really enjoying that, because, I didn't have, my family here with me at that time. And the street kids, like my little nieces and nephews, they was out there. We all were one big happy family, and I was just, and every year I'd see people come in back and forth for all the different festivals we have downtown Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And they, hey, Marv, how you doing? Hey, and I didn't have to even play. They throw money in my bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, and that's why, I love playing the buckets.
Well, you're a super social, family-oriented person, and music has been a big part of your family, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because you got brothers and stuff that play.
Yeah, that's true, man. My brothers have a band that started way back maybe mid-'60s or something, called the Ready Made Family.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 3 brothers playing that band. They play once a year now, because they are, they're all older and, way older. But they're still pretty good. And my other brother has a band called Familia.
Mm-hmm.
And they play a lot. And I didn't get a chance to really play with them. I was supposed to play guitar, but I was just like the black sheep of the family, running the streets, stuff like that. But I go along with them, and I help them be like the roadie, and I always got backseat passes, and they play with professional groups and stuff. And that's kind of where I got to playing buckets. I had a little beat in me, a little rhythm in me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I first met you, Marvin, like I said, doing street outreach. But then when we were trying to do advocacy to get the shelter open, that was in about 2012 or so, started that. And you were a big part of us trying to figure out what should the shelters look like, because you had been at that point on the streets for quite a few years and maybe had various degrees of success in some of the other shelters.
Yeah.
And so when we were trying to figure out what would the shelter look like, we went out and did surveys out on the street with folks and asked questions about why people were or were not accessing shelter. And you, if I'm remembering right, you were part of the first 30 people that came to the Interfaith Work Shelter. Isn't that right? When we opened?
Well, I was supposed to, but somehow I got mixed up. And I stayed at St. Michael's Church, which is another very good shelter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But then after they realized that I wasn't on that list, they hurried and got me down at the Interfaith Works. But yeah.
What I'm wondering, like, from your perspective, what was it like to go to the Interfaith Work Shelter compared to other places you'd been?
Well, of course, I was lucky enough to get into the St. Michael's Shelter and the other one. What's the name of the other Catholic one?
Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Sacred Heart. 'Cause those are very good shelters too. They fed you, clothing, pick you up, try and talk to you, and then coming to Interfaith Works, it was just like, wow, man, this is like being in heaven. From being on the streets, it was like we had counseling, we had therapy, we had food, we had clothing, we had donations, we had volunteers helping us. I mean, we had transportation, we had little get-together type parties and stuff like that, and just people playing music and helping each other out. It was just, I loved it. I was there for 2 years with you guys.
Yeah, I
2
know.
years, the last 5, 6, 7 years,
I remember you had the big Flavor Flav clock in
Yeah,
your bed space.
yeah.
You designed your bed space all nice.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
I had a nice little cubicle, huh? I hated to leave, I really did.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your time while you were there. One of the biggest gifts that Uncle Marv has given to the people of Olympia is the Up and Smoke barbecue party.
Hey.
And I don't even, at this point now, I don't even remember what year was the first year for Up and Smoke, but Marv had come to me and told me that he always had this dream of having a barbecue joint called Up and Smoke.
Up and Smoke.
And that at that time, you were not doing well.
No.
In a lot of ways. You weren't doing well physically, you weren't doing well mentally. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was at that time. I was staying at the shelter, of course. And a couple of times I was there, I had some emergency. I had to go to the hospital. I almost died, and the doctor told me I had like 3/4 of my heart was working. I only had 5 years to live. So I was just, that's when we started talking about the you and I and a couple other managers down at Interfaith Works talking about what's the name of that when you leave something behind, we call it?
A legacy.
A legacy, and that's when we all got together, started talking about the barbecue, and said, hey, let's throw a barbecue for the, when you pass away, if you do pass away. We can have legacy every year, this is something you give back to the community. I said, yeah, it's not a good idea. I won't have no money, nothing like that to give them, but hey, I think that's how we got it going.
But we know how to throw a party.
We can throw a party,
We might not have money, but we know how to throw a party.
So that's how the barbecue, and just went from, we had so many things going on there. Man, we had, all the community came, people, the homeless people, and then people from surrounding areas. They, they was happy about us doing that, and we had bands and put on plays and wow.
Yeah, the first year Marvin wrote a play.
Yeah.
Remember what it was called?
Yeah, Mama, I didn't mean to burn the cornbread. Yeah.
So Marv wrote a whole play.
Yeah.
We had different parts, different characters. We read the play at Up and Smoke. We also we would have it at First Christian in the parking lot, and they have this amazing walkway that goes over the top, and so it was perfect for a fashion show.
Oh, it was cool.
Catwalk, and so we would get all the donation clothes that we couldn't really use. Sometimes we get donated like prom dresses and feather boas and things like this, and so we save them all for the fashion show every year.
Right.
But and then we had bands, and your family bands came down a couple times.
Sure did.
A lot of the shelter staff and shelter guests are musicians and artists, so we had face painting always.
How about
and
desserts we got? What name of that place? Give all the desserts.
Desserts,
That place. They always help out a lot.
Yeah, there's so many local businesses that help
Yeah.
support it.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been able to do it during the pandemic, but it'll be back. Mark our
It'll be
words.
it'll be 7th year if we can do it again. Yeah, it'll be number 7.
Yep.
Or no, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a blessing. That was so much fun. Yeah, that was so much fun.
So Marv, at that time, you were doing really not great physically. You were
Right.
also struggling with mental health
Yeah.
stuff, some substance use stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all right.
I want to just say that of all the people that I've known in this work, like, you went hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I nonstop.
And
Mm.
that was like for a couple years that you were living at the shelter,
Yeah.
but even before that too. But
Yeah.
it kind of got progressively worse,
Yeah.
right?
7 years hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got hard. When I think about it, I went to the hospital like 2 or 3 times, where I wasn't expecting to live. But I went there, when I went there, when I was on life support, you always be there when I wake up. Yeah, thank you for that. That was so cool for you to be there. And then they called my family in a couple times to think I
Yeah.
was going to make it. And I don't know, man. I guess God got me here for some reason, And I'm just thankful. Yeah, it was just, I was doing crystal. When I was in Tacoma, they didn't have no crystal meth back then. They might have, it was crack. Then I came here, and tried that. I didn't like it at first, but the more I did it, the more it made me feel like I could do anything, move around, do anything, and be this and do that. But I was actually, it was driving me crazy. I was crazy, didn't know I was crazy. People couldn't tell me I had a problem. I thought I was okay. But,
Yeah.
I couldn't kick it. It was, I kicked a lot of drugs in my life, but that one I thought I would never ever, quit
Yeah.
doing it. But I was, but by people like you, I stuck with you. You stuck with me all those years. I come to your house 3 times a day. For all these years and bug you and you counsel me and give me food and whatever I needed and stuff. And then I had the Interfaith Works people, all the volunteers, the staff, and Drexel House staff helped me out, and I had
Well, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because we worked with Drexel House right around that time to do a pilot project where we could get folks that had, the way I put it, the most complex challenges, right? The folks who are living with serious physical illness, chronic illness, mental health, and substance use challenges.
Yeah.
And we worked with Drexel House to do a pilot project to get some of the folks who scored the highest on our vulnerability assessment list to be able to move into apartments there. And so I believe that first round of folks was 7 or 9 people that we were able to get moved into apartments through our partnership with Catholic Community Services. And Marvin was one of those.
Yeah, first one.
You were the first one.
Yeah.
So will you talk a little bit about what that was like getting an apartment and what was that transition like for you?
Well, see, I was so used to either being on the streets or being in the shelter around all my I call them my peers, people that I could get high with, I could depend on for to talk to, people that we all struggled together on the streets, slept together. If it was cold, 10 below, we could just hold each other and stuff. Not really be boyfriend girlfriend, but it's a real tight knit community. I was used to just going through year by year by year, just living a homeless life. Because I appreciate all the different places that faith-based places that helped us out, the food and the clothing and stuff that people give us and stuff like that. I just got used to that, and I thought, hey, I might as well stay here. This is cool with me. And then I got moved in with you guys at Interfaith Works, and that was really top of the scale shelter. Oh man, this is cool. I like this. So I said, well, then my 2 years was up. I said, they told me about this, this new program. I said, oh man, I don't want to leave. Oh my God, please don't make me go nowhere. Nice apartment. Oh man, nice, clean, and oh man, it was even better than you guys' place. I hate to say that.
It's true. Yeah.
Because it was apartment.
Yeah.
And
because even though you liked the shelter, it was hard to live around people, and sometimes there was conflict with other folks that live there, with staff and stuff like that.
That's true.
So then, I think from the outside looking in, like, you're like, of course you'd want an apartment.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
wouldn't you want your own apartment, right? But there
Yeah.
was it was scary, I think, for
Exactly.
you.
That's what I'm trying to say. It was scary not being there. I didn't think I was gonna have the support. I was having. We had it made it. You live in the shelter.
Yeah.
Everything was just there for us. You didn't have to work. You didn't have to do nothing. People just showed you love and stuff like that. You always had somebody. But when I did move into the apartment, I continued to think about my friends that were homeless, but they were still going through. And I'd open up my door, my window, whatever. They can come in, take showers, eat, and I'd still be going back and forth downtown playing my drums, trying to keep that same life instead of, embracing what I had, right in the new apartment, because it was very nice. And I eventually grew out of that part of, just going downtown every night, because, downtown was getting dangerous anyway. Some nights I had to walk home in the cold when I could stay there in my apartment. I could cook, didn't have to worry about standing in line at the mission or nothing to eat. Didn't have to worry about carrying no bags around. And I thought about that stuff, and really realized how blessed I was to have an apartment. What people went through to get it for me, I wouldn't, just, because many times I wanted to say, forget it, I don't want this apartment anymore. I want to go back out in the streets, sleep on the floor, on the sidewalk. If I couldn't sleep in my bed, I wasn't used to sleeping in the bed. I would sleep on the floor, and it was hard to get used to. But it was hard to get used to. But once you start getting that support from different people, and just groups to help you out, with the mental and just directing you how to live life all over again. It was something I didn't want to do, but once I did that, man, I said, oh, I like this life. I like myself now. I like this. I have my own place, and just family started opening doors. My family opened the doors back up to me again, and oh man, finally got to talk to my grandkids, my great grandkids, and talk to my dad. He's in his 80s now, and just life is so short. I didn't realize it. When I was getting high, I just thought life live forever. Don't worry about dying. Just get high. But you really have to treasure. Things that you have around you, and the people you have around you, cherish them. And people work so hard to get me to where I had a place. I could get my weight back. I could get my mental health straight. I love it. I just love it now. But that we have more housing available for people. People really don't want to live out in the homeless areas like they don't. People think they do. But they need some help like I got.
Yeah.
They just do it on their own.
Well, and I think that what you always talk about is just like how many different groups and different people stood by you, and I think that that's because everyone loves you, and you're just like a very easy person to love,
uncle type guy.
Yeah.
You all right, little fella?
And so, but I think that that's the thing too, is that it's not easy and it's not complex, and from where we sit today, it's been 13 years, of working. And I think that that's something that the community doesn't quite understand, is just like how complex of people we all are individually, and that it's not just a shelter and you're done. It's not just an apartment and you're done. It's like, for some people that might be true, but it's like what it really takes to surround someone like as special as you are with the support that is needed, that you deserve to get you to where we are today. It's like that's like a long-term work, and
I'm thankful for that too, though. Like when I left your program, you had somebody coming out to my house every Wednesday, and we go out, and we'd go play in my buckets in the park. We just talk about anything. I really appreciate that. How they just didn't throw me up to the apartment and left me there. I had support, and I could still go to Iggy Hop and get stuff if I needed it. I could always come to your house and just, had BHR to help me out. I had a real good counselor too at Drexel. April Sprague, she was very, very helpful to me through my recovery after I started getting clean. She was a big part of my, staying on me, making sure I was doing the right thing. Because it's easy to drift back off if you don't have nobody there to, guide you, tell you what to, give you suggestions on what to do, or how to, go to this organization, that organization, or how to do applications, or just, it's scary. It's scary being out there on your own without no help.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
community and like sense of belonging is so
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Then at the end, you after all that help like that, it feels like you belong. Oh, it feels good to be belong. Belong to something, somebody. You know, it's just, yeah. People glad to see you. You know, and stuff like that. But you know,
Well, I always tried to make it clear to you that I was always glad to see you even then, because I think something that can sometimes happen is when people get into recovery,
yeah,
it starts becoming like if you fall off or if you slip up or whatever, then the shame can be really a lot.
Right.
And so I always want you to know that no matter what,
I know.
I'm here.
You know, that's right. Look, I mean, wow, I put you through the most hell of anybody. You know, I mean, at one time we was going, when I lived in the shelter, you and I was driving around out there somewhere by the house, by the bowling alley. You said, yeah, I live around here somewhere. I said, where you live at? Oh, somewhere around here. I bet you wish today you never would have told me where you lived at. But I've been bugging you ever since.
You had to earn that. But now you know,
Yeah.
now we're neighbors.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's what's cool too, is that because you live at Catholic Community Services
Yeah.
and it's a different organization, we
Yeah.
just get to be neighbors, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times I come by your house, you give me, feed me, give me peanut butter sandwiches or whatever, you know, anything I needed. It was cereal. Be at your house at 10 o'clock in the morning on your porch playing my bucket drums. That's terrible. Marv, you at somebody's house in the morning on Saturday, waking them up. But, you know, I'm high, so I don't realize, you know, what I'm doing to people. And you say, okay. You
Yeah.
know, I know I was getting on you guys' nerves, so I just thank you for,
Yeah.
you know, putting up with all my mess.
Well, so how long has it been now since you used last?
Last time I used was 0209. Is that right? 0209-20. So it'll be
Yep.
2 years and coming up.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I thought I would never be clean. I thought I was gonna be crazy the rest of my life. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels good. Oh, it feels good.
Because the methamphetamines, it can cause a psychosis. It's called a
Yeah.
meth-induced psychosis. And so there was times where you felt like you were being attacked by people,
Oh,
and it was really scary.
Oh yeah.
And so some of that has cleared up
Oh yeah.
for you, right?
Oh yeah. It's gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone now. Man, I can't even talk now thinking about that.
Yeah, no. We
I mean,
don't-
I can,
we
but
don't
it's
need
yes,
to.
yeah. I don't have the. I've always feel like someone was invading my body. You know, mostly just like that. You know, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't walk. They would always be on me. Where I went, they were on me.
Yeah.
You know, and people, oh man. But actually, in reality, I mean, I can actually feel them. I'm sober now, but I can actually feel stuff on my body.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff. Crystal meth is a crazy drug. Or I can look in a bush and see somebody's face.
Yeah.
You know, and make because the eyes come up and the people. No, I'm serious. You know, I mean, right now, even though I don't see that stuff happening now to me, but at that time, this stuff was really like, that crystal can make a person look really real in your TV, looking at you, waving at you.
Yeah.
Oh, on your bed, pulling covers off you. I mean, this stuff was actually happening to me. People's always crazy. No, I believe this stuff was really happening to me. I believe it was.
Yeah. I mean, I
I'm
believe
serious,
that too.
man, I do.
No, I know. I believe it too. It was
Man,
very real for you.
That's a cold drug, boy.
Yeah.
And
And I think that's like, a lot of times I feel like people who do meth are often really like, there's a lot of stigma there where it's like, oh, they're crazy or they're dangerous or they're whatever. But I just think about like you in that place that you were at, and like, how could anybody take any steps to like, I don't know, change their life if they're like having that level of fear and like not knowing what's going on and not knowing what's happening.
I
And
think the same thing.
yeah, and it's just like amazing that you were able to come through the other side of that, because it was really scary there for a little while.
That's why I hate when people try to laugh at people when they're going through that kind of stuff. People don't want to act like that.
Yeah.
You know, people don't want to act like that. They don't want to act like that. A person can, just have an apartment and be around their family and their kids and, stuff like that. They'd rather have that. Believe me, people don't want to be homeless. They really don't. I mean, while you're out there, you stick together and just get by, do what you have to do. But nobody wants that life. but it takes time. It takes other people on different things to help them get to that stage where, like you guys did me. We just need more people to help out. I think.
Do you think that that's one of the biggest like misconceptions about people who are homeless that the community has, that they want to be living that life, or what do you think? Like, what do you wish the community could understand about people who have gone through what you went through?
Understand that, we go through that, but we go through and we have to just do what we have to do to survive. People talking about how dirty it is around some of the campsites and stuff like that. Well, I mean, they don't. If they had a home, something like that, they could go out to the garbage can every day. See, people bring people stuff too. A lot of volunteers bring people stuff, and it adds up. People just don't go out digging stuff and making piles and dirty things around their campsite just to be doing it. They don't want to live that way. Nobody wants that. And, you notice when the people live in those small communities that they're building now, they're clean. But they do have people to help them out. But just all have to. People don't want to live that way.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Nobody enjoys living like that. Freezing all the time in the cold, rain coming, destroying all your stuff. Nobody wants to live like that. And a lot of people they're not all drug addicts either. I noticed that. People think people are all drug addicts. They're not. People lose their jobs, like that. People get divorces, and teenagers get kicked out of the house by their parents. Mm-hmm. And end up homeless like that. They don't know what to do out there. They just get sucked into it. And just have to. Some have to sell their bodies, and some have to just sell drugs. Some will start using drugs, never used drugs before. It's terrible out there being homeless.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, and I think that also it's like there's not one thing that works for every person. Like what you just said, that whole array of experiences that people have.
Yeah.
It's like to resolve somebody's homelessness, in some ways it is simple. It's like that access to resources, but in other ways it's really, really complex, and you have to be able to have a system that can actually wrap around people, like what happened for you. It was like the outreach, the shelter, the housing, the mental health support, and now the substance use support too.
I was blessed. Not too many people. There's just so many. You can't reach everybody like that. Especially you, man. You try to reach everybody in the whole city. You're doing pretty good, though. I mean, you're getting a lot accomplished. You're getting get a lot of support, more and more support every year you're getting. And I thank people for helping you out the way they have.
Yeah.
You just couldn't do all this stuff by yourself.
No, not at all. It takes us all for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Marv, what brings you like hope, and what do you do for fun? What brings you hope in your life today?
Oh man, shoot! Right now, just being able to well, first of all, I'm happy, and I thank God and thank you guys and all volunteers and stuff for helping me out. Thank God for being clean and sober today. I'm just happy just that I can go sleep in my bed with my clothes off, not with my clothes on every night. Feeling how it feels to sleep on a sheet, in another sheet, and the texture on my skin. And that makes me happy just right there. Being able to cook, being able not to be looking for cigarette butts all on the ground. It's just so much to be happy. I can go things I'm happy about, but what's the question again?
Well, like, what do you do for fun, or what brings you hope?
For fun right now, I don't really go out and do a whole lot of stuff. But for fun, for me, it's when my daughter called me. She constantly called me, and then my grandkids call me grandpa. Stuff like that. Then my great grandkids, they call me Grandpa Marvin. Something just every week I'm in touch with either one of them. They send me pictures. And I'm not really doing anything, but that's fun. It's reenacting with them like that. That, and then, I talk to my dad about once a week. He's 80-something. Right now I'm just focusing on just being happy. I got an apartment and thankful.
Yeah.
I'm going to family dinners and stuff now.
Yeah.
Those things like that. And going to my brother's house. I used to always go to my brother's house only. Remember when I had one place to go?
Yeah.
But now I go out for all the functions, Thanksgivings, and I'm back leading the prayer at the dinner table. Something I always did when we grew up. And now, Marvin, where you at? We waiting on you. Come on. I do this thing, do all of that. But eventually I'm going to get back to fishing, golfing, volunteering, of course. I want to do that.
You got your lizards?
Huh?
You want to tell the people about your lizards?
I got 2 lizards. 2 geckos. Yeah, one's called Dinah, the other one's called Sorry. You know, and you can pick them up, you know, and they crawl up on your shoulder. And I got a fish tank. I do enjoy doing that. I got a fish tank, a bunch of fish in it, and I got the one fish, what do you call it, that swims by itself?
The beta fish?
Yeah, I got one of those in a different tank. And then I got my birds outside, and I just enjoy that. Then, you know, I got what you gave me for Christmas, the crystal ball, that the light hit it, and it comes all through your house. Like
the
that.
rainbows.
That you gave me that for Christmas. And that's, you know, the little things. I'm just thankful for the little things, you know. And yeah. Then I went to my reunion where I was raised at Hilltop this past summer. Hilltop reunion. I got to see some of my friends that I been on for over 50 years, you know.
Was that a high school reunion?
Huh? No, from just neighborhood reunion.
Oh, the neighborhood reunion.
Yeah, then one of my brother's bands played there. I've heard them playing a long time. They were still funky. The name of them was Familiar, the name of the band. And that was good, man. Free food, there's like ribs and everything. Just everybody, hey, Marv, hey. They even call me Uncle Marvin Tacoma. Yeah, because I'm always the oldest, you know, all the people I hang out with, you know.
Well, Marv, do you have any questions for me at all?
Let me see.
We didn't practice that one.
Not to practice that one. Not to practice that one. No, but I appreciate this opportunity to be able to. Oh, we're going to have barbecue again this year, the Up and Smoke?
Up and Smoke, I hope so. We're going to have to figure out, because we're going to be moving into our new building at Unity Commons, which is right around the corner from where you live. So we're going to be moving in there probably in December, so.
Okay.
But we'll have to figure it out.
It feels like we're going to be able to do it. It kind of feels like it.
It kind of feels like we are.
Yeah. Is there a big area outside for the band to play and stuff like that?
There would be, yeah.
Okay, I was wondering about that. I know I've seen the building, but I know what kind of area you guys have outside.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to, Up and Smoke will live again.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen. It was a real highlight for everybody every year.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then as far as downtown Olympia, you know, I miss going down there a lot. You know, because, you know, every other bar got a different type of band in there. You know, and I played, like I said, I played on the street corners down there. But a lot of musicians came from around the world to play there. I got to meet them, different kind of instruments. You know, I mean, really good musicians and stuff. And then I got to, you know, meet people that play like alien music, punk music like you guys were playing. You know, really started to enjoy different types of music. Then I was playing buckets down there. Then Erica Freeze, of course, she played with Kevin's band, your partner's band. And they invited me to play on stage at the Olympia.
Was that Obsidian?
No, not there. It's Capitol Theater.
Oh, yeah, Capitol Theater.
Capitol Theater. I got a chance to go on stage, play my buckets with, you know, some professional musicians, you know, and that felt so good, you know. And these are professional musicians, really good friends of mine. I met so many musicians through you and your husband and stuff. I just love this place, you know. And that's really fun there. And I still play. I don't play my buckets as much as no more, but because it makes so much noise in the apartments. But I do play the cajon. You sit on that, and it's like a box drum. And I play some African drums. And I got all the different cymbals and bells and stuff to shake around and play my music. Yeah.
Well, I think that what you just said also stuck out to me, where I think a lot of times people think that if you are somebody who has struggled with addiction for a long time in one place, that you can't stay in that place. You got to get out of that place. Right. And I think for some folks that is true. But what I think is really cool about what you just said is that you were able to get to a place of healing within yourself where you can still be connected to all the things that you love about Olympia.
Right.
But you're doing it now in a way that is healthier for your mind, healthier for your body.
You're right about that. You're right on that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Y'all have to be on the street corners and all that. Dangerous down there.
Yeah. And you still like play such an important role in people's lives in the same way that you did then. Because I remember too, early on when you were at Drexel, you were struggling to pay your rent a little bit. And
how far back was that? A whole year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Drexel for
letting me go a whole year without paying my rent. Thank you for talking to
you. Made it back though.
Yeah.
You paid it all back.
Paid it all back. Yeah.
But you were a big part. I was asking you, what's the struggle for you to manage your money? Because you just get a little bit of money every month, and you said you would give it all away. Yeah. And so we talked about how, like, just because you were in housing and other people weren't, didn't mean that you had to give all your money away to people every month, and tried to make a plan with you. Because you were like, well, then I can't give anybody any money. And I was like, no, but you love to give people money. That wouldn't be you. So what if you just give people like $50 instead of all 500?
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I used to keep about 40, 50 for myself.
Yeah.
But that ended up being a good plan for me. Today I still do that every day. I mean, every week, month I still give people a little bit of money, at least up to around $40, $50.
Yeah.
But I can buy gifts. I can buy gifts for all my grandkids, all my great grandkids, my daughter, my brother's kids, my sister's kids, and they kids. I mean, it's it ain't no big gifts, but like $20, $30. Just like it ain't, and still be comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy, so blessed. Be clean, sober. Oh man, that's so good. All right.
Well, Marv, do you have anything else you want the community to know?
I just want to say thank you to all the people that helped me get to where I am, and I want people to continue to try to help the homeless people. Just go out, volunteer, bring them clothes, and don't put your nose up at them. Try to help them and stuff, and just try to really understand what they're going through. It's really hard out there to be homeless, and just try to help any way you can. Just take time to really think about what they're really going through. If you're in their shoes, you probably feel the same way. I want to say thank you to Drexel House for, giving me the opportunity to be on the first one of that program, got me in there. And thank you guys for helping me get in Drexel House. What was I? I'm just rambling on right now, but I just want to just thankful to be able for you guys to get me down here on TV and stuff. You guys are doing a good job, too. Fantastic crew down here working.
Porcupine Media.
Yep, Porcupine Media. Mm-hmm. And thank all volunteers up at the shelter.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Marvin, for being here with me today. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this important perspective of what so many folks in our community are going through. And I think that Marvin's story is one where it's so important to remember that whatever we see in people as we're passing by is just one tiny sliver of the full story of their lives. And it's just one moment in a whole lifetime of moments. And I think that your story really illustrates that you can't judge somebody by what they're going through in one single moment. And we're all complex human beings that take all kinds of love and support. And I'm just super grateful that you're here, grateful that you're alive.
All right.
And thanks so much for taking the time today to be with us.
My pleasure.
You'll be able to find this episode and more on our website, interfaith-works.org, or our YouTube channel, Interfaith Works Thurston County. Also, if you'd like to learn more about the new shelter and permanent supportive housing apartments that we are building in partnership with the Low Income Housing Institute, please visit 2828martinway.org. We're getting super close to the building being done in December, and this is a huge moment for our whole community. We're doing a fundraising push, and right now is the Give Local fundraising event, so you can find information about that on all of our social media and websites as well. Thanks so much. Shout out Porcupine Media, and we'll see you next time on Lean in Olympia.
Yeah, and BHR.
Oh, yeah, BHR.